Hello, hello. I'm Lori Alvarez, and I welcome you to Real Estate with Soul, the podcast. This is where I will share my story, knowledge, wisdom, and the legacy in real estate, and my family, all boldly wrapped up in one with you. So let's get started. Hey, sister, we're on the podcast again this week. What you been up to all week?
Showing houses. That's my answer all the time.
Yeah, you need to get
houses.
more exciting.
Oh, that's what I do. Showing houses and
Selling.
chasing my kids around.
She's selling houses. She's selling houses. Today we had a closing.
Yes, so excited.
Yes.
So excited for
Excellent.
her and her little girl.
Excellent. And even better, we have a guest on the podcast today.
Yay.
That's right. We have Samantha on the podcast today.
Woo, woo.
Better known as the real Slim Sammi on the IG.
Yes, on the IG.
Wow. Hey, girlfriend, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you ladies? I mean, besides having a closing, that's amazing.
Yes.
Feeling.
She's home in time for the holidays. That is why I don't sing.
Yeah.
Let's keep it to selling real estate, Lori.
She can sing. I can't.
I'm not going to, though.
Hey, Sammi, tell us a little bit about who you are and your amazing accomplishments, whatever is most important to you. Please share.
All right. So yes, my name is Sammi or Samantha or Sam, whatever just comes out first. Just that's what it is. So I am what you would call an influencer on social media in the weight loss industry, mainly weight loss surgery industry, because I did have gastric sleeve, surgery in September 2018. I have lost over 210 pounds in a matter of 3 years.
Oh my goodness.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. I've had a lot of skin removal, reconstructive surgery. So in our industry and all of that, I'm kind of known as like the plastics queen, quote unquote, because I have had all of that done because I was like, I'm still very young. I want to get all of this taken care of and I want to live my life. So I put it all out there for social media and gained my following pretty quickly because of how open and honest and blunt I really truly am about the entire process and kind of just tell it how it is. And here we are today.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, instantly on your IG page, like it says you lost X amount. You went from here to here.
Yeah.
Women won't even talk about their weight.
I know.
Right.
Yeah,
and like you put it out there and gave them the real numbers.
Yeah.
What gave you the courage to be willing to step into that?
You know, so I had, like I said, gastric sleeve. Wow, I did not have bypass. My mom had bypass. I did not. Gastric sleeve in September 2018, and I was really sick afterwards. I developed a vitamin deficiency because I had kidney stones, and they just couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. So that led to a B1 deficiency called beriberi. And so I was very sick, and I had tons of family and friends reaching out, wondering how I was doing. And I was quiet on social media for a very long time. I had maybe 2,000 followers, and this was just like friends and family over time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was feeling better. I went to a holiday party and I decided to post a before and after because at that point I lost about like 65 pounds and I was pretty proud. So, yeah. So I was like, I'm going to post a before and after so my friends and family know that I'm okay. I attended a holiday party. It took everything out of me, but I'm okay. So I posted a before and after, and I was like, I wonder if there's like hashtags that I could use. And I posted some hashtags. So I posted the picture, and all of a sudden I started getting people commenting and liking, and I was like, who are these people? And then some girl was like, oh, you're doing great. And I was like, what is this? And I clicked on her page, and she was sharing her befores and afters. And I was like, oh, there's like a whole community for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So long story short, I found the community by just sharing that before and after. And as I progressively got down to what I wanted my goal weight to be, I never say my goal weight because the number is different for everybody.
Yeah.
But after posting and continuously finding all of these other mutual people that are sharing their story, I realized how important it was to talk about your weight and like share things like that and just really be open and honest for everyone because we all just want to relate with each other, right? So it's funny that you even mentioned because a lot of people won't talk about their weight. But I think that when you go through such a huge transformation, you're like, okay, sure. Yeah, this is my number. This is what it is. I was even at like a seminar kind of thing. And the guy was like, okay, like he was talking jokes and he said something. He's like, oh, what's your weight? And I was like, 153. And he was like, did you actually just tell me your weight? And I was like, yeah, if you only knew who I was, you would like be like, oh, this is just her. But I was just like right out there. I'm like, oh yeah, 153. And I was like, oh, you're in like a normal setting. Like, don't just like shout your weight out. Like you're not around like the whole community anymore. So I do find myself way too openly honest sometimes because of how honest I am on my socials, but people like it. So
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta love it though, because I mean, I'm honest, right? So I personally, like, I weigh 230, and I dropped down to 179 doing fitness. I'm currently at 199, and every time I watch one of my boxing videos, because my super awesome coach videos me, I think, man, I look big. That's literally what I think.
She's made so much progress, like just throughout her whole journey. Like you have so much more muscle on your body now than you had back when you were 230. Like, I mean, your transformation has just been huge, and you should
it's the body dysmorphia. It's the body dysmorphia. It'll do it every time.
Yeah, you know what? So I just love that, we got to meet, we had the opportunity, right? So how Samantha and I got to connect was I got an email from your office manager at the real estate location that you support and help them with all their social media, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I also hang my license there. I'm an active agent.
Yeah, she's licensed too. Very cool. Right. And so with that said, I got that email and I said yes, because I'm a person who generally will say yes to everyone.
Yeah.
I do a lot of yeses because that's just my energy. I like to be in yes world.
Yep.
And so with that said, I got to meet you. Yeah. I was super stoked to meet you. Loved your energy. I looked at your IG and I was like, look at that. Like she just shares her heart with the world. Like you are true to who you are.
Thank you.
And it's important that we surround ourselves with people that will be real and true to who they are. Right.
Yeah.
And you really are that person. And I loved how your IG said that you want to aspire to inspire. Why is that so important in the health industry, the food industry, the industry that you're a big part of? Why is that so important to you?
Oh gosh. I think because, well, like I said, my mom did have gastric bypass. That was in 2002.
Yeah. Tell me the difference between what you had and your mom had. What were the differences of that?
The bypass is when they literally bypass your stomach and connect it to the small intestine, I believe.
Okay.
So, and then they leave like the part of your stomach kind of like hanging and still connected.
Yes.
But they connected and it's like an egg pouch. Everyone mainly knows the bypass. So what the sleeve is, they remove 85% of your stomach.
Yeah.
And they leave you kind of like with a little sliver, like a little banana shaped stomach.
Yeah.
So it's just like one little long skinny thing. And so removing that, obviously you are restricted in your eating and you have to do liquids for the first however many weeks your doctor, tells you to, and then a soft food diet. And it goes on and on. But yeah, so that's the difference. So she got hers kind of rerouted is like what I like to say. And so I grew up kind of around that. And my mom was older. She wasn't, got it when I was 28. So she was like in mid 40s, I believe. And so I grew up with just knowing that like, you have to be big and you have to be older to have the surgery because you have to try. It has to be your last resort. So I always grew up with last resort. And then, the public and TLC has made my 600-pound life a thing where you have to be over a certain amount of weight to get the surgery and you have to try everything before doing the surgery. So there's a huge stigma around weight loss surgery. And I had no idea until I did start posting and finding others. And I was like, wow, we don't have a voice for anyone under the age of, 50 but those people aren't going to be really necessarily on social media sharing their story as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was kind of up to us to break this stigma and be like, hey, weight loss surgery does not need to be a last resort. It should technically be a first resort. In my opinion, I mean, obesity has such a high number, especially now during COVID and before,
Yeah.
how long COVID has been. But yeah, that's kind of why the whole community really does want to just inspire others. It's because there's not a lot of us out there that share our story, but there's over 250,000 people each year that get bariatric surgery. And that's just in the US alone. So this is a huge, community, but not big enough. So the more that we talk about it, the more people that are open about their story and share about it, then it won't be this huge ordeal. I mean, people don't even know where to start to get the surgery. And I think that's an issue in itself.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Well, I would like to add to that, Samantha, or Sammi, I think the biggest challenge that I have, right, as I personally walked my own weight loss journey, which will ongoingly happen
yes.
throughout my life, right? Because it's very
Yeah,
easy
me too.
to get back into the old way of eating,
Yeah.
because that's really all, generally, not all, right? There's
Right.
medical issues related to it as well.
Uh-huh.
But I would add, I think like the number one challenge I have with it is that people will be like, oh, well, it's body positivity. And like, you're a terrible person if you say anything about someone's figure. But I'm not saying anything about their figure. I'm talking about their healthy heart, their healthy body, their healthy
Right.
desire to be able to, because I know when I dropped my 60 pounds, like I was like, whew, like I had so much more energy and I could do so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you maneuver that on a daily? Because I'm sure that comes at you daily.
Yeah. There's a lot of hate towards it, especially on the TikTok.
Yeah.
That's where it mainly happens. But there's not a lot of hate that I get. The main thing that people will say is that weight loss surgery is the lazy way or it's the easy way. And to those, I'm like, you know what? You guys did not deal with the back end of my first, like, basically year of having the weight loss surgery and then the aftermath of it. So they don't know my true story. And if they did, I'm sure they would be like, oh, wow, okay, you did not take the easy way out. But I don't need to sit there and explain myself to hundreds of thousands of people, So I'm like, whatever. I've really tried to just brush off the haters. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I really want to respond with some really sassy comment and like just really rip them a new one. But then I obviously I don't. I try to take the higher road. Plus my boyfriend is in PR. So like if I do say anything, I'm always like, hey, can I say this? And he's like, Sam, really? And I'm like, but it's so good. He's like, no, it's great, but like, let's not. So I do have a really sassy side and I try to hold back. But no, I mean, I just try to like understand that people, again, just trying to break the stigma here, because that person clearly has their own perception of what weight loss surgery is.
Right.
And the only way that they know that is because of the media. So as long as we could just keep doing what we're doing, I mean, I guess we'll try to make the world a little bit of a better place, but who knows? You're always going to have haters for everyone that loves you as well. So
that's right.
For sure.
Yeah, I just try to brush it off your shoulders kind of thing. I don't know. It just day by day, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree. And I would add to that, right? Like it's moment by moment. Like I think I had one hater when I first started doing kind of motivational, inspirational kind of talks on my Facebook page.
Uh-huh.
And I had some lady who was like, oh, whatever. She just started a family real estate business. I was like, what the heck? It broke my heart. Oh, man.
You can cut deep. I can't lie. You're like, oh, that was a good one. Thanks. Right there, buddy. Right there.
And then I just said, exactly what you said. Like, if you want to make a difference in the world, you got to go out there and make some noise.
Yeah, you do.
And you never know that instance, that the fact that she made that comment, right? You never know what they're personally struggling with.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't know where they are in their life or what's happened with them or whatever it be. Because I will say this, like I have had 4 sons. Okay, 4 of them.
Ooh.
All 3 of them I had naturally in the sense of push them out of my business. Okay. That's the nice way of saying it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a mom of sons. That's how we talk in this house.
Ooh,
We got business.
yeah. Business, and that's it.
And the last one, and I used to always say, oh, those women who have C-sections, they take the easy way out, right?
Oh yeah.
And the good Lord put me in my place. He made me
Yeah,
he
he
made
did.
number 4 be a C-section, and
Woo!
I would never go back in for that again.
Nope.
Never.
No, yeah, I had a C-section too. Those are not fun.
No, I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you that it was easier for me to push my babies out of my business
Yeah.
and recover from that naturally.
Yeah.
Unless I'm a sissy, and I'll own it when I am, uh, I could not recover from that quickly. I was thankful for the church that surrounded us and brought us dinner for 3 weeks straight, because
Oh, that's very sweet.
I know
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything.
Oh,
So I would say that what you've went through, no one even knows unless they've personally walked the path,
right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's
Um,
it's true, you know?
it,
Yeah.
They
it
have no
really is.
idea. So they can say what they want, you know. Like, and what you said was perfect. It's like we have no idea what they're I mean, that person, for all I know, who said that I took the lazy way, I mean, maybe they are overweight and they went to the doctor and the doctor denied them, because that's a thing. And
Yeah.
now they're
Yeah.
pissed off at me because I had it. I mean, I don't know. You know, people
Right.
have their
Right.
own issues, and so they're going to project. And I do try to remind myself of that. But yeah, some of them do freaking cut deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will. They are
They
not nice people out there sometimes, but
delete. You
fine.
just delete. I if you're a hater on my social media, I just delete. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, block. Nice little block button.
Moving on, because I want to surround myself with amazing people who have fantastic things to say,
Yeah.
and a smile that lights up the world, as you do, Samantha.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, honestly, like everything that I've seen and the interactions that I've had, you didn't know me when I came into that real estate office, and you were just like so cheerful and so supportive
Oh,
on everything. And not only that, you find true value in social media and how it can make a real difference in the world.
yeah.
And so many people disqualify that. And that's your daily thing, right?
It sure is. Daily.
What is the one biggest takeaway that you would add for people as they're moving through their life, making such decisions like yours was for this weight loss, and you saying like this should have been a first resort, like a first opportunity, but I had to dig deep to find it. I mean,
Mhm.
what could happen differently or be done differently in that industry to help support people differently?
Ooh, I think that it's just, again, the whole stigma behind it. I would love to see more like mainstream media talk about weight loss surgery. There's some celebrities that have had it, but it's very on, you know, the down low. But I would love to see a show like My 600-Pound Life, but maybe My 300-Pound Life. You know, maybe
Yeah.
do My 250-pound life and I have PCOS. I mean, I would love to see more of that in the media rather than, you know, this huge extreme. So that's personally what I think that needs to happen for it to actually get into other people's heads, because you know that's where we get all of our information from, the news and television and social media. So
Yeah.
I think one day we'll get there. I really do. And just if we just keep talking about it, we hit a different audiences. I mean, I'm going to be hitting a different audience in this podcast. So that's why I immediately was like, yes, absolutely, I will get on this and talk about it, because you do hit a different kind of audience. And I might hit someone who is listening and be like, oh wow, yeah, my friend has been trying to do that, so she just needs to go to the doctor and say like, I've tried everything, this is what I need. Like, demand it, you know, tell him I want to be seen by, I want a referral, I need this, I've done my research, own it, you know. So that's what I would like to see more of, is just mainstream media treating it as if it truly is a tool, because it is. And what you said earlier, it's a lifetime. You're going to be on a weight loss journey forever, and so am I. Like
Yeah.
we kind of all are, unless you're blessed with this great little system that just works great, and you can eat donuts all day long. Like, good for you. But like, we're always watching what we're eating, and men and women. So it's like, this tool, yes, helped me lose 210 pounds, but my mindset has kept it off.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's going to be it for forever. So at the end of the day, yes, I want to see it more mainstream media and really just kind of promoted better.
Yeah, so I think, right, it all starts in our kitchen, right, which is within our home. That's where food, like for me, emotionally, one of the things that I connected through my weight loss journey was my celebration was Sunday afternoons. I would be with my daddy and we'd go get ice cream from
Yeah.
Thrifties.
Yep.
Right. And so I was emotionally attached to that because that was my celebration with my dad, who I only got to see on the weekends.
Yeah.
And so I carried that into my regular life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when I went into my health and fitness journey and really said, oh, okay, maybe a bowl of ice cream every night isn't a great option, Lori.
Yeah.
You're 40, I'm 48 now, right, sister?
Yeah.
You're 48 and ice cream doesn't come off as easy when you're 48 as opposed to when you're, how old are you? 36 or whatever she is,
Sure. We'll go with that.
But I mean, it really all starts in the house. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the podcast, because that's who's listening to our podcast here is people who are in the home, who treasure their home, treasure and have a family that they're building and moving forward, that they're building a legacy together. And that's exactly what you're doing by making these decisions, right? To have a healthier way of life for you.
Yes.
So what does that look like day to day in your home? What do you do every day? How do you support that ongoing daily decision? Because it's hard.
It's very hard. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that there's not moments where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to enjoy, a half of a donut. Like I won't lie and tell my followers, like, I eat perfect 24/7, like
Yeah.
I'm very open and honest. Like there's going to be days where I'm going to slip up but I can't slip up continuously. A 2-week slip up, that's a huge ordeal. And I will definitely feel that. I did have, when I had one round of plastics done, which is I had a thigh lift and a breast augmentation and a lift, and it went very south very quickly.
Scary.
For a very long time, it carried on, and I went through a deep, dark depression over it. It was bad, and I went back up to 170. And I let that bad habit continue and over and over and over and over and over again. And finally I was like, okay, I really, like, my pants weren't fitting the way that I wanted them to. I was like, no, like I've been avoiding the scale. I stepped on and I was like, okay, something needs to change.
Yeah.
And I started logging my food. I started like just honestly walking around more. And then my boyfriend and I bought a house and we renovated the entire thing. And that really helped me lose a lot of the weight because I was like, I'm going to save money and I'm going to carry up tiles and wood and all of this stuff myself.
Yeah.
And I was every single day here doing something for the house with obviously guys. And so that was another thing too, a distraction of my mind every single day rather than just sitting around pouting and, not getting anything done. I was like, no, I'm going to make better choices. And it's an everyday thing. It's an every meal thing, honestly. It's not just one day at a time. No, it's like one meal at a time, because the way that I kind of describe it to people and what a friend and I were discussing is she was an ex-drug addict. And she was like, I can't even imagine like using the drug that I was addicted to every single day. And I was like, yeah, like I was addicted to food and I still have to use my addiction every day to survive. We all do. But like, how do you use that addiction in a timely manner? You can't just like, snort cocaine and then be like, oh, well, I have to do little bits every single day and then I'll just get on through life. Like, no, you have to cold turkey that. But I didn't get to cold turkey mine.
Right.
In the beginning I did, but like I have to now make the decision consciously every single day of every single meal. So I don't know. I just honestly take it, like I said, one meal at a time. This is what I'm going to have. I try to avoid snacking. That's probably everyone's, worst nightmare. And then even at nighttime, dessert. Who doesn't love dessert? I am a huge sweet tooth. So it's very hard, but you have to find substitutes. I actually found this protein powder that I really liked. They were at our convention that we had, and all they did was mix their protein powder and water, and it tasted like brownie batter. And I was like, okay, see,
Ooh.
this is something that I need because it's sweet and it tastes bad, but it's good for you. So substitutions, always finding new recipes, always looking on, like, TikTok has great recipes to stay consistent with. That's honestly just what I do. I take it just day by day, meal by meal.
Mm-hmm. I love that you say that, because I know Sunday, I never sit around and watch TV all day. I never sit around in sweats or workout clothes all day.
Mhm.
And I actually am never home all day. And Sunday, it is the holidays. And so people tend to be a little distracted right now and not necessarily needing their realtor in this very moment.
Correct.
And so I said, I'm going to be present with my husband, and I'm going to watch football with him, and I'm going to be a great wife. Be 110% here. And I must have ate like 100 million times. I was like, I can't afford to have a Sunday like this again for another 365 days.
Yeah, that is not you.
Oh, it's amazing what boredom will do. It's amazing. Yeah.
It is. So what I heard you say is, like, you've just kept yourself focused on things that were better for you so that you could make great decisions to keep you in the healthy mindset that you want to be in personally.
Right. Yep.
I mean, and like, that's a bold law for us. Bold law is one of those real estate things that we do in our real estate office. And one of them is
I was
like,
Carter Keller. I remember.
oh yeah, that's right. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So the bold law, right?
Yeah.
So what you focus on expands.
Yep.
And of course, don't compare your insides to someone else's outsides.
Yes.
I remember that all the time.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going on the inside.
Nope.
Right?
No idea.
You don't. So I just want to, like, the plastic surgery, like, I saw it on your IG and I didn't really know what that meant, but the reality is, one, that's very painful.
Oh yeah.
Because I had a girlfriend who did a breast enhancement when we were 18, and I took care of her for 2 weeks after she did it, because she had babies, twins, and she was a young mother too, right? And I saw her pain because I came over every day and took care of her for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So why did you also have to go through that aspect of it, or did you have to? I mean, I am asking from a very curious position on it.
Yeah, no, I'm very open, so I'd love to share. But yeah, no, I definitely did not have to. That was a personal decision. My mom had a tummy tuck when I was younger, so I was like probably 14 when she had that done. So in my mind, I already, again, was exposed to that. So knowing that you lose over 200 pounds, you are going to have loose skin. Yeah. It's just what it is. I was a big girl. I had big arms, big thighs, pretty much everywhere. I was pretty proportionate everywhere. So I had a lot of loose skin everywhere. Yeah. And I was single, and I was like, okay, I feel good now. I, feel confident in my body, but I've lost all of this weight and I'm living every day with this loose skin. And it was not irritating, but it was annoying. And you're young. At that point, I was 29, and I was like, I'm single. I'm a single mom. I inherited some money from my uncle who passed away. And I was like, I know that he would want me to invest in myself and my future. And this is what it is. And I saved up as much as I could. And I got my arm skin removal done. It's called Brachioplasty. So I'm cut from my elbow to like right there, mid chest, I guess you would say, on both arms. And then I had a tummy tuck done at the same time. So I am cut hip to hip. So then I got those two done. and I was like feeling great. I was back at work at day 10. I still had the drains in my pockets. I would just go, I felt great. I literally was like, because I wanted it so bad, because I just wanted to, and I did meet my boyfriend before I had all of my skin removal surgery done too, which I promised myself up and down and sideways that I would never date anyone with my loose skin. And now we're living together. But like, but I was so determined, because I was like, I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with my body. I want to do stuff, but bless him. He's been an angel through all of it. But anyway, so I got that one done. And then about 6 months later, I had a breast lift with augmentation, and my thigh skin's removed as well. So I am cut from my knees all the way up to like basically where my tummy tuck incision is. So I got that done. My thigh lift was okay. I recovered great from it, but when you lose, and I don't know how blunt and honest I can be on here, but when you lose so much weight, you lose all the elasticity, all up here, right? So also the tissue you completely lose when you lose that much weight. So they didn't really do the proper lift. They just lifted as if it was like, I just needed a lift, like a normal woman that has just gone through some, maybe had some babies or something. But I was a weight loss patient, and I was not treated that way. So I had the implant actually fall through the tissue. And it's called bottoming out or double bubble. There's lots of terms for it, but I bottomed out on both of them. So I had to go back in with a different doctor and get a proper lift done with a bunch of basically reinforcements under, because again, we lose all of that tissue just depletes basically. So I had that done. And then I also had a big old face when I was a big girl. So I had a neck lift as well, which I still have some loose skin on my neck, but it's not as bad as it was. So I got that done same time as my last breast lift. So I've had lots of it done. And again, I've shared every single thing on there, because there's another stigma about that as well, as like plastic surgery is like looked at as like sometimes cheating and like things like that. But I never had liposuction, and I just had all of my loose skin removed, because I'm young and I could. So
and you deserve it.
Yeah.
It was my treat to myself.
Totally.
Very expensive treat, but it was a good treat.
Well, and you were brave to do it. And I'm going to give you like 100% credit for that, because one of our family members, she's very close to me. She just also had some plastic surgery done to her body, a tummy lift and various things as well. And I was like, tummy lift. I don't think my baby belly that I blame on my kids. And my sister would say, no, it's guacamole and tortilla chips.
You put chips and salsa in front of this woman, and like she will not stop.
Oh, same.
Because she reminds me that my kids are now 16, 19, 22, and 25.
You have to keep it real,
No.
I'm just saying.
That my little baby belly is from my babies.
It's fine. Yeah. No, I mean, shoot, you had 4 of them. You probably could easily get a tummy tuck. But
and so I because I Googled it and I looked and I said, heck no, that looks like that hurts.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty painful. It was. But then, when you like, it's like having babies is what I like to say, is because when you are going through the process and you're like, I'm never doing this ever again.
Ever.
And you're like, oh, but a baby. That's exactly how I felt with my plastic surgery. I was like, I am never getting my thighs done. I'm never doing anything else. And then I was like, oh, but like plastic surgery. Like it was literally like, no, but I have, like, I want this, like, and I can do it. So it's just like that, you go through all this pain, but then the end result is just like incredible. Like I am so grateful, because I do get to like, and yes, I have scars, don't get me wrong, but like I could care less, and I could care less even with my loose skin, but like it's different. It's definitely different when you finally can like feel quote unquote normal. And I hate that word, but like, an everyday person walking down the street who has been thin their entire life doesn't really understand
No idea. Yeah.
the struggle and all of that. So to feel in that person's shoes for just like a little bit, like a tiny, tiny little hint of it with, all of my past experiences feels really good. And I'm like, I'm glad that I'm able to accomplish it. I am so thankful that I was able to afford all of that and have the support that I had around it. So it's been, a lot, but wow, I'm so, so thankful that I did it and got it over with kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I look at when I met you, I didn't know anything about your story. I was just like, oh, good. She knows some social media. And I looked at your IG and I'm like, oh, she's got some followers. I can trust that she knows something about social media. And right. That was my first like, observation and like thoughts with regards to you. And then I started looking at yourself and I'm like, she got a pretty good, interesting story. Like, and, so with that said, what would be for the man or woman or young child or whoever it be that's out there dealing with their personal battles of their physical body, what would be something you would want to offer them as a let's help move you forward in this so that you're not ending up dwelling on the negative aspect of who you are?
Yeah, that's tough because I feel like everybody goes through that. Whether you're big or you're small, you're always going to have this like little tiny peep in your ear, like, do better, be better. And I think that it just takes some time because I'm not perfect. I don't sit there and love on myself every single day. There's days where I am just down low and I'm like, I don't want to post anything. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to get up there because I'm not in the mood. But then it almost takes looking back at like a time where you were happy and like you're posting about it and you feel good and you're like, I really felt good in that moment. Like, how do I get back to that moment? That's kind of how I handle my like days. Like if I'm like feeling really bad, I'm like, why am I feeling like this right now? But a couple weeks ago, I was living my best life. How did I get to that moment and how do I get there again? So that's kind of how I focus. And it's kind of weird that I'm like looking back on my past, but I know that I have that potential to be that happy and like, it's not forced or fake. And I really, like I said, I do try to stick very true to my social media. And I'm like, this is how it is every day. If there's days that I'm not posting, you probably have no idea that I'm, packed from 8 a.m. till, 12 p.m., whatever.
Yeah.
But I do just try to find that nice inner voice that is like, no, you can do it. You can do whatever. And then of course, look at your surroundings. Like I try to wake up every day with a grateful mindset. I have a healthy daughter. I have a healthy little family. Like I am where I want to be in life. Of course, there's things that I always want to accomplish more of and things like that. But we can get there down the road. We don't have to be perfect right now. So again, and it's so corny, the day by day, meal by meal, but that's truly how I feel like all of our lives are. We just truly do take it like one step at a time, and that's all we can do. We're just really just trying to like live our best out here, but it just takes baby steps and processes to do so. So if they are interested in getting weight loss surgery and they, want to look at, their options or things like that, I would suggest following people on social media, looking the hashtags, talking to your doctor, making sure that you told them that you did the research, because you do want to do the research before you just jump into any of the decisions as well. So that's what I have to think about. Is just, again, the day by day. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Because I think that people get in the mindset. I know I personally, I don't know what anyone else thinks about, but I know I have my highs and I have my lows, right? And I know when my highs and lows, they're really related to the hormones of my body.
Yeah.
I personally know it. I'm like, whoo, you better stay out of the way because today is my hormones are way off balance right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Move.
Yeah. And I didn't discover that until I was 46 or so. Like I really became aware of what was going on inside me so that I could understand what was happening around me.
Yeah. So true.
And I think, I offer that for people is take time to be with yourself, just as Samantha did, right? You took time to be with yourself.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
were comfortable with yourself so that you could move forward to what you envisioned and wanted for yourself.
Exactly.
And you were brave enough to do it.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Took some courage. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Samantha, you're awesome. So where can everyone find you?
Literally everything is at The Real Slim Sammi with 2 M's and 2 I's. And then I also have my own podcast with my best friend who had bariatric surgery, and it's called VSG Tea with Sammi Bre. And that's at VSG Tea, VSG, and then T spelled out TEA. We're on TikTok, Instagram. We have a website. We sell t-shirts. We have a podcast. Kind of do it all right now, but
are a rock star.
Yeah.
Again, trying to break that stigma, and we have a bunch of good podcast guests on there that are in the weight loss surgery influencers, and we have dietitians on our page and doctors and all of that stuff. So it's pretty interesting. Even my boyfriend listens to it and enjoys it sometimes. So
sometimes
nothing like that. He did have no bariatric surgery, nothing. He was brand new, walked in like, what in the world did I get myself into right now? Poor guy.
I think, like, for me personally, I would love to listen to it because I would like to hear more about the dietitian aspect of it, right? The opportunity to eat in a better way for ourselves.
Yeah, it's because it's not just my life; it's everyone's life. We all have to make those conscious decisions every single day. So
it is. It is. Oh my gosh, Samantha, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you so much. If there's anything else, is there any one thing you want to leave with the audience?
No, buy Enlist Your Home with Lori and her team.
Thank you.
Oh, you're awesome. And we'll add the Realty Pros 100 over in Orange County. You guys are an awesome real estate office. I've been very impressed with them, and you're very generous to have us in and visit. Thank you.
You're welcome back anytime. I love you.
We'll make time for it for sure. And next time she'll come along.
Next time.
Yeah, you should.
Yes.
I'd love to meet you
for sure. Yeah.
Okay.